Sometimes you feel surrounded by people, yet deeply alone. You laugh, you talk, you go through the motions of daily life, but inside, there's a silence, a quiet voice waiting to be heard, a longing to be seen, even by yourself. That silence is not emptiness. It's the sound of your true self waiting, not for the world, but for you. Because somewhere along the way, you stopped listening. You started living the way others told you to. You became what they wanted to see, not who you really are. As children, we dream freely. We feel things deeply. We speak honestly. But as we grow, we're taught to shrink, to behave, to adjust, to fit in. You're told, be successful, make money, get a job, buy a house, be strong, don't cry, don't fail, don't feel too much. And so, you build a version of yourself that the world approves of, but you don't recognize in the mirror. And one day, you wake up and feel it. That ache inside, that question that won't go away. Who am I, really? That moment is the beginning of something sacred, something terrifying, something necessary. It is the beginning of finding yourself. This journey is not about becoming someone new. It's about returning. Coming back to who you were before the world told you who to be. And that journey is quiet. Not loud like the world. Not fast like social media. It's still. It's slow. It's honest. You won't find yourself by chasing attention. You'll find yourself in the silence. In the late nights when the world is asleep and your thoughts grow louder. In the moments when you're alone, but not lonely. Just present with yourself. You'll begin to remember things, not memories, but feelings. The way it felt to be free, to be curious, to laugh without reason, to dream without fear. And slowly, you start asking the real questions. What makes me feel alive? What breaks my heart? What do I want to give to the world? What do I believe in when no one is watching? These questions, they won't give you easy answers, but they will guide you back to your truth. And the truth is this: you were never lost. You were just buried, under expectations, under noise, under fear. Now, you are starting to rise. Finding yourself will be painful, because it requires shedding layers you've worn for years. You'll outgrow people, places, habits, identities. You'll grieve the version of yourself that tried so hard to be liked. You'll feel guilt for putting yourself first. You'll doubt your worth on the days you don't feel productive. But stay with it, because on the other side of this pain is something beautiful. Freedom. The freedom to say no without apology. The freedom to walk away from what no longer serves you. The freedom to be soft, to feel deeply, to try, to fail, to begin again. The freedom to be fully, unapologetically, you. You don't have to know everything right now. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be honest. If you're tired, rest. If you're broken, heal. If you're angry, feel it. If you're lost, be still. This isn't a race. There's no medal at the finish line. There's only truth, and peace, and the quiet power of being whole. And even if the world doesn't understand, you will. You will see yourself clearly for the first time, not as who you're expected to be, but as who you are. And you will love that person, maybe for the first time. This is not the end. This is not even the middle. This is the beginning. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, and listen. You're still in there. Under all the noise, under all the pressure, you're still here. You've just been waiting for you.
You will notice something strange when you begin this journey. The things that used to excite you no longer matter. The people who used to define you begin to feel distant. The goals you chase start to seem empty. It's not because you're broken. It's because you're waking up. Your soul is remembering that it was never made for noise, it was made for depth, and now you're starting to crave silence, stillness, truth. You'll begin to notice small things, the way your breath feels when you're calm, the comfort of your own company, The way sunlight spills across your floor in the morning. You'll start to feel life again, not in the big moments but the quiet ones, and that is where you find yourself. But don't be surprised if it hurts, because transformation feels like destruction at first. Old habits will pull at you, old voices will try to convince you to stay small, comfort will whisper in your ear, "This is too much. Go back." But you won't go back, because once you taste truth, the fake becomes unbearable. You may feel lonely, because when you stop pretending, you lose people who loved your mask, but not your soul. Let them go. You may feel scared, because when you stop hiding, you're exposed, raw, unfiltered, vulnerable. That's okay. Let the fear sit with you. Let the sadness wash through you. Let the old self grieve, and then let go. You are not here to live a half-life. You are not here to shrink for anyone's comfort. You are here to expand, even if it means standing alone for a while. The world will try to distract you. It will offer validation in exchange for your silence. It will give you likes, followers, money, but at the cost of your soul. Don't trade your truth for approval. Don't sell your fire for comfort. You were not born to blend in. You were born to burn bright. This journey is not about building a version of yourself that others admire. It's about unbuilding everything that isn't real, until all that's left is the quiet, steady truth of who you've always been. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy. You don't have to be understood to be valid. You just have to be real. And being real is rare. Most people are just echoes, repeating what they've been told, living how they're expected to, hiding who they are to be accepted, but not you. Not anymore. You've chosen the harder path. The braver one. The honest one. And though it may feel lonely at times, you're not alone. There are others walking beside you, quietly reclaiming themselves, choosing truth over comfort, growth over safety, healing over hiding. You may not see them, but they're out there, on mountaintops, in small apartments, in broken homes, in silent rooms, finding themselves too. And slowly your world begins to change. Not because everything outside is different, but because you are. You start to speak with more care. You listen more deeply. You laugh with your whole chest. You cry without shame. You rest without guilt. You begin to trust your intuition. You say no without explanation. You say yes with your whole heart. You stop apologizing for who you are. You stop editing your light. You stop begging to be seen and start seeing yourself. This is what freedom feels like. Not loud, not dramatic, but deep, quiet, rooted. You begin to walk differently, not faster, but lighter. Because you're no longer carrying the weight of who you're not. And people around you notice. They may not understand it, but they feel it. Your presence becomes still, calm, grounded. You're no longer trying to prove anything. You're no longer chasing. You're no longer seeking worth, because you've remembered it was always within you, and now you're beginning to live. Not for approval, not for attention, not to impress, but to experience. To feel, to connect, to give, to be. You'll start doing things not because you should, but because they light you up. You'll make choices that nourish your spirit, not just your image. You'll choose peace over drama, depth over noise, truth over comfort. You'll realize that everything you were looking for was never out there, it was always inside. And then one day you'll wake up, look in the mirror, and see someone you recognize, someone who's been through storms but still stands, someone who's lost people, places, illusions, but found something deeper, someone real, someone whole, someone you can love. There will come a moment, quiet, unannounced, when you realize something has shifted. Not in the world, not in your circumstances, but in you. You'll notice that things that once triggered you no longer move you. The noise doesn't shake you like it used to. The opinions, the pressure, the comparison, they've lost their grip. You've grown roots. Not the kind people see, but the kind that hold you steady in the storm. And that's when you'll understand, you don't have to chase peace, you become it. Healing. Doesn't mean life is perfect. It means you no longer break the same way, that you'll still feel pain, but it won't own you. You'll still get lost, but you'll know how to return. You'll still doubt yourself, but your truth will speak louder than your fear. And in those moments of uncertainty, you'll pause, breathe, listen, and hear a voice inside you say, I'm still here. Because you are, you never left, you were just buried, now you're uncovered. This is the reward. Not applause, not perfection, not some grand success. The reward is knowing yourself, loving yourself, being able to sit in your own presence and feel at home. This world is obsessed with doing, with hustling, performing, producing, but you've remembered how to be, how to rest, how to feel, how to live from your center, not your surface, and that changes everything. You'll start to forgive, not because they deserved it, but because you do. You'll release old stories, old patterns, old identities. You'll stop defining yourself by your trauma and start defining yourself by your healing. You'll create space in your life for stillness, for laughter, for meaning. You'll begin choosing what aligns instead of what's available. And one day you'll look around and realize your life feels lighter, not because the world changed, but because you did. You'll stop searching for home in other people, because you've built it within yourself. You'll stop waiting for someone to save you, because you've become your own sanctuary. And when someone asks, what happened to you? You'll smile, not with pride, but with peace, and say, I finally came back to myself. That is what finding yourself really means. Not becoming someone better, but returning to someone real. And from that place, everything changes. You love deeper, because your love is no longer conditional. You give freely, because you no longer feel empty. You create, you serve, you shine, not to be seen, but because you can't help it. You've let go of the past, you've made peace with the present, and now, you're building a future from a place of wholeness. Not perfection, not performance, just presence. You still fall. You'll still fail. But you won't forget who you are. You'll rise differently now, softer, wiser, rooted. You'll stop fearing the dark, because you've seen what lives there, and it wasn't the monster you thought. It was you, wounded, scared, forgotten, but still alive, still worthy, still waiting to be loved, and you gave yourself that love. That is power. That is healing. That is home. So now, you walk with a quiet confidence, you move through life without rushing, you speak when it matters, you choose yourself, not to reject others, but to return to truth. You're not trying to be impressive anymore. You're trying to be real. You don't want more noise, you want peace, you want depth, you want something that feels like soul. And it's okay if you're still learning, still growing, still healing. It's okay if some days feel heavy. If some nights feel long. If some wounds open again. You're not broken. You're human. And being human's not a problem to solve. It's a mystery to live. So be patient with yourself. Be gentle. Be kind. You've come so far, and you're still becoming, still unfolding, but this time, you're not searching for the light, you are the light. So keep going. Keep choosing truth, keep choosing you, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because every time you do, you come home again and again to the only place you were ever meant to be, yourself.